Good morning, students. Myself Rajiv Verma is going to start today's topic, that is Kirchhoff's law. Now, Kirchhoff's law is divided into two categories. Number one is known as Kirchhoff's first law. Kirchhoff's first law. And this Kirchhoff's first law is also known as junction rule or junction law. Kirchhoff's first law is also known as the junction law. According to this rule, the total current meeting at a point is zero. Means the total current reaching to a point or the junction is equal to the total current leaving the junction. Yani algebraic sum of the net current reaching the junction is equal to the net current algebraic sum of the net current leaving the junction. That is why the total current at the junction is zero. For example, अगर हम एक यहाँ सर्किट कंसीडर करें, suppose these are the resistors. This is any circuit. The resistances may be R1, R2, R3, R4. I1 be the current reaching to this point. I2 may be the current reaching to the same point, which is known as the junction. I3 may be the current leaving the junction. I4 may be the current which is leaving the junction. Then, as per the Kirchhoff's rule, the algebraic sum of the total current at a point is zero. What it means? It means total current at this point, if we are taking the current reaching to the junction is positive 1, then I1 is positive. Similarly, I2 is positive. Then the current leaving the junction is taken as negative, then plus minus I3 plus minus I4 is equal to 0. Now, after simplification, I1 plus I2 minus I3 plus I4 is equal to 0. Now, I1 plus I2 is equal to I3 plus I4. Here it is clear that I1 plus I2 is the total current reaching to the junction, and I3 and I4 are the currents or the total current which is leaving the junction. It means the total current reaching the junction is equal to the total current leaving the junction. Finally, we can say the net current at a point is 0. This is known as Kirchhoff's first law or junction rule. Now coming to the second one. Second one is rule number 2, Kirchhoff's second law, and this Kirchhoff's second law is also known as loop rule, or it is also termed as mesh rule. लूप और मैश का क्या मतलब हुआ? एनी क्लोज्ड सर्किट स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम अ पॉइंट consists of suppose a cell or resistors to drop the potential, and a continuous path from one end to another end is known as a closed circuit or loop or mesh. So according to the statement of this law, the total or net change in all the potentials in a closed loop is equal to 0. इसके लिए भी हम क्या करते हैं, एक सर्किट अरेंजमेंट यहां पर देखते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, वी आर हैविंग अ सर्किट. These are the resistors, cells are connected in this way. Suppose R1 be the resistance, this one, this is R2, this one is the R3. Suppose this is A, B, C, D loop. this one is E and F loop, and EMF of this cell is suppose E2, EMF of this one is E1. So the current flowing through these two cells may be I1, here I2. Now these two currents are reaching at this junction, then the net current flowing in the resistance R3 must be equal to the sum of these two currents, I1 plus I2. Now we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's second rule in this circuit. So first of all we should consider a loop, and we are going to move in clockwise direction. Suppose the loop and the loop is A, B, C, D, A. This is a loop where we are going to apply the Kirchhoff's second law or loop rule. तो सबसे पहले हम आते हैं A से B तक. From A to B, as there is no resistor and no cell, so no potential drop is taking place, then we are moving toward B to C. R3 be the resistor, and the current flowing in this branch is I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2 into R3 will be the net potential in this branch. Plus CD, no resistor is present. Now D to A, we are moving from D to A, then reaching to the cell, negative terminal of the cell. That is why we can put negative EMF. Then while moving forward, we got the potential drop across R2, and we are moving in the direction of the indicated arrow. This is I2, R2 is equal to 0. So this is our first equation after the application of the Kirchhoff rule. Similarly, in loop ADEF, अगर हम ADEF लूप को लेते हैं सेकेंड लूप को, और फिर से हम क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन में चलते हैं, तो A to D अगर हम चल रहे हैं तो क्या होगा, वी आर मूविंग इन द अपोजिट डायरेक्शन ऑफ द करंट. R2 I2 हो जाएगा ये माइनस का, देन प्लस E2, उसके बाद में आ जाएंगे माइनस E1, देन इट विल बी प्लस I1 R1 is equal to 0. This is equation number 2. So in this way, with the help of these two relations, after solving these two equations, we can obtain the value of the current in the circuit as well as the current in each branch of the given circuit. So again I am going to summarize this, that according to Kirchhoff's first law, the net current, algebraic sum of the total current at a junction is 0, and according to Kirchhoff's second law, the net change in the potential at in a closed circuit is equal to 0. Okay, now we can take an example. Now taking an example, determine the current in each branch of the network. This is a given circuit in which we are going to obtain the current in each branch. For example, AB is a branch and I2 be the current. So we have to calculate the value of I2. AC is again a branch, I1 is the current. We are going to calculate the current in this branch. AD is again a branch in which I1 minus I2 be the current flowing in this branch. So we have to calculate the value of I1 minus I2. In this way, these all are the branches where we have to calculate the value of the current. So to calculate that, we can apply the Kirchhoff rule to find I1, I2, I3 first of all, and then after we can find the current in each branch of the network. Now consider few loops. For example, ABC is a loop in which we can move in the clockwise direction. ACD is again a loop. This may be the second one, this is first one, this is second one, and BCDE may also be a loop. This may be the third loop. After applying the Kirchhoff rule in these three loops, we can obtain the value of the currents I1, I2 and I3 by framing three linear equations of three variables. Now let us start one by one. सबसे पहले हम आते हैं in loop ABCA. In this loop, we are applying the Kirchhoff rule. then the current is I2, resistance is 4 ohm, तो ये हो गया 4I2, and then from B to C it is plus 2I2 plus I3, उसके बाद C से A की तरफ आते हैं तो ये हो जाएगा प्लस I1, फिर यहां पर आते हैं माइनस के 10 and then it is equal to 0. Circuit is complete. Now I1, then 4I2 plus 2I2 is 6I2 plus 2I3 is equal to 10. This is equation number 1. ये एक इक्वेशन बन गई. अब हम लेते हैं लूप नंबर 2, ACD. Now in loop ACDA, इस ACDA लूप को लेते हैं. In this loop we are moving from A, तो सबसे पहले तो हमारा पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल ऑफ द सेल ये आ रहा है, ये 10 वोल्ट, तो प्लस का लेंगे, एंड हियर दिस इज माइनस 1I1, मतलब I1 माइनस क्यों? क्योंकि डायरेक्शन ऑफ द करंट इज अपोजिट टू द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द मूवमेंट. अब C से D आते हैं तो प्लस 2I2 प्लस I3 माइनस I1. उसके बाद D से A की तरफ जब जाते हैं तो ये हो जाएगा माइनस 4I1 माइनस I2 इज इक्वल टू 0. इस तरह से ये कंप्लीट हो गया. अब इसे सिंप्लीफाई कर लेंगे बस, माइनस I1 एंड प्लस माइनस 2I1, तो इट विल बी माइनस 3 और 4 माइनस के 7I1. I2 को देखते हैं, 2I2 तो ये रहा, और माइनस माइनस प्लस 4I2 तो प्लस 6I2. उसके बाद I3 पे आते हैं तो 2I3 तो प्लस 2I3. ये सब सिंप्लीफाइड हो गया, 10 उधर चला गया तो माइनस 10. ये आ गई हमारी इक्वेशन नंबर 2. अब आ जाते हैं थर्ड लूप पर, यानी कि नाउ इन लूप BCDEB लूप में आते हैं. इस लूप में आ रहे हैं, यानी कि इसमें हम क्या चल रहे हैं, एंटी क्लॉकवाइज चल रहे हैं. B से C पहले जा रहे हैं, तो B से C इट विल बी 2I2 प्लस I3. ये हो जाएगा पोटेंशियल ड्रॉप अक्रॉस दिस रेजिस्टर, प्लस का होगा, प्लस 2I2 प्लस I3 माइनस I1. ये हो जाएगा सेकंड केस. थर्ड केस में जब जाते हैं D से E, तो यहां पर सीधा नेगेटिव टर्मिनल आ रहा है पहले, तो 5 इज इक्वल टू 0. अब इसे सिंप्लीफाई करते हैं, माइनस 2I1 2I2 प्लस 2I2 इज 4I2, 2I3 और 2I3 प्लस 4I3 इज इक्वल टू 5. दिस इज इक्वेशन नंबर 3. ओके. In this way, in such circuits, by applying Kirchhoff's rule in different loops, we can obtain the linear equations. Here there are three variables, I1, I2 and I3. So we have obtained the linear equations of three variables, and there are three equations. Now after solving these equations, we can calculate the values of I1, I2 and I3. Then we can find the current in each branch. यानी हमें फिर क्या करना होगा, जब हमें I1, I2, I3 की वैल्यू मिल जाएगी, तो BC ब्रांच में अगर करंट निकालना है तो I2 और I3 की वैल्यू ऐड कर देंगे. अगर CD ब्रांच में हमें करंट निकालना है तो I2 प्लस I3 माइनस I1 कर देंगे. ओके. अब इन इक्वेशन को सोल्व कैसे किया जाएगा? यू कैन सोल्व इक्वेशन नंबर 1 और 2 बाय एलिमिनेशन मेथड, बाय एलिमिनेटिंग वन वेरिएबल. सपोज I1 को हमने एलिमिनेट कर दिया, I2 I3 बच गया. नाउ हमने थर्ड और फर्स्ट, सेकंड और थर्ड इक्वेशन को लिया, इससे भी सेम I1 को ही एलिमिनेट कर देंगे. Then we got equation number 4 and 5. After simplification of these two equations, we can get the values of I2 and I3. And after substituting these values in any of these equations, we can calculate the value of I1 also. In this way, we can obtain the current in each branch of the network. Okay. Now coming to the next topic, and the next topic is Wheatstone bridge. What is Wheatstone bridge? Actually, Wheatstone bridge is an arrangement of the four resistors, out of which we are able to calculate one more accurately or more quickly. Now coming to the circuit, this is the arrangement of the four resistors. Suppose P, Q, R, S, and there is a galvanometer which is connected diagonally, and this arrangement is connected with the cell of EMF E, and the currents are flowing as per the diagram here. Now according to the Wheatstone bridge, if we adjust the bridge in such a way that a galvanometer shows no deflection, means the current flowing through the galvanometer is 0, then we can say the bridge is at balance condition. Then P upon Q must be equal to R upon S. This is also known as the principle of Wheatstone bridge. This is known as the principle of the Wheatstone bridge. Means if the galvanometer shows no deflection, मतलब null point, then P upon Q is equal to R upon S. This is known as the principle of the Wheatstone bridge. Now to obtain this condition, we can use the Kirchhoff's rule. So according to Kirchhoff's rule, in loop A B D A, इस लूप को लेते हैं A B D A को. From A to B, the resistance is P, current is I1, PI1, then plus GIG in this branch. उसके बाद यहाँ पे आते हैं minus RI2 is equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, in loop B C D B, अगर हम B C D B लूप में आ जाते हैं, B C D B लूप में आते हैं, तो B से C तक जाते हैं तो इट विल बी Q I1 minus IG, then minus S I2 plus IG. उसके बाद इधर जाते हैं तो फिर अगेन माइनस GIG is equal to 0. Okay, now we go to relations in these two loops. अगर हम इसमें Wheatstone bridge की कंडीशन अप्लाई करते हैं, what is the condition? Condition is if no current is flowing through the galvanometer, यानी अगर मैं इसमें अप्लाई कर दूं if IG is 0, तो above equations में be written as IG 0 हो गया, यहाँ पर ये IG 0, ये IG 0, ये IG 0. तो what we got, पहले हमने गेट कर लिया PI1 minus RI2 which is equal to PI1 is equal to RI2. This is suppose equation number 1. Similarly जब दूसरी इक्वेशन में IG को 0 करते हैं तो ये आएगा QI1, ये 0 हो गया, माइनस SI2 और ये GIG 0 is equal to 0 which implies this is equal to 0, which implies QI1 is equal to SI2. This is equation number 2. Now on dividing equation number 1 by 2, we got PI1, left hand side की रेशो PI1 upon QI1 is equal to RI2 upon SI2. Now I2 and I1 cancelling out, तो क्या बचा, P upon Q is equal to R upon S, which is the required solution, which is the principle of Wheatstone bridge. यानी Wheatstone bridge को मैंने क्या बताया, it is an arrangement of 4 resistors out of which one can be calculated more quickly or more accurately. तो इसकी कंडीशन क्या है कि अगर हम इन 4 रेजिस्टर को इस तरह से अरेंज करें कि गैल्वेनोमीटर में फ्लो होने वाला करंट 0 हो जाए, देन वी कैन से द ब्रिज इज इन द बैलेंस कंडीशन. और अगर ब्रिज बैलेंस कंडीशन में होगा तो P अपॉन Q R अपॉन S के इक्वल होगा. P अपॉन Q इज इक्वल टू R अपॉन S. ये होगा अगर गैल्वेनोमीटर से कोई करंट फ्लो ना हो. तो इस कंडीशन को ऑब्टेन करने के लिए हमने इस लूप में और इस लूप में किरचॉफ रूल लगाया. 2 इक्वेशंस आ गई. फिर हमने इसमें ब्रिज की कंडीशन अप्लाई कर दी, IG इज इक्वल टू 0. जब IG 0 कंडीशन पुट करी तो ये 2 इक्वेशंस हमें आ गई. आफ्टर डिवाइडिंग दीज 2 इक्वेशंस वी गॉट दैट P upon Q is equal to R upon S, which is the condition of balancing condition of the bridge.